How many games will the New Orleans Saints win in 2023? What's going on, Saints fans? And guys, this is your boy Mayo Jones here, back here with another NFL record prediction. And it's time to predict the New Orleans Saints scheduled for a 2023 NFL season. Give you my thoughts, my game analysis. See which games I think the Saints will win and which games I think the Saints will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the New Orleans Saints in 2023, don't forget to put the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down your opinion below to see how good the Saints are going to be. Do you think they're going to make the playoffs? Do you think they're going to win the division, or you think they're going to slip up and miss out on the playoffs? Let me know what you guys say in the comment section below. Now, I kind of really know that the Saints, are the most challenging teams in the NFL. Now, I think there's a chance that I feel like they could regress this year and I feel like they're coach. So, yeah. And they have a new quarterback in Derek Carr. Now, I have the question is, will the Saints, will bounce back and get to the playoffs? That's a question. But I don't know. So where to get things started here? So week 1, they got to play at home against the Tennessee Titans. Now, this is a game right here that can go either way. But I understand Derek Carr does not play well against this Titans defense. Maybe there's a chance Tennessee can definitely give your offense some issues. But at the same time, New Orleans at home, I'm going to give the Saints a win here because I just think the Saints, I just kind of feel like that their defense can match up well with Tennessee. I think they'll do a good job stopping the run. And they can take advantage of a weaker offensive line in Tennessee because I feel like their Tennessee's offensive line is new and improved, which they're going to be doing learning curves with that. And plus, we don't know who the quarterback for the Titans is going to be, right? It's going to be Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, or Will Levis. But if it's a rookie, I wouldn't trust a rookie or a young quarterback, especially against that good of a defense. Yeah. So I think you should be able to stop the pass as well. And I believe you guys can move the ball on them a little bit. So, yeah. I think it's weird to say that Tennessee has better coaching and the Saints have better quarterback. So, yeah. So I just kind of feel like that the Saints, the reason why I think New Orleans win because I just think, they're a better team. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. The next game, week 2, they have to play against the Panthers on Monday night. There's another game that can go either way. So, obviously, this is a game where I think, you guys can definitely steal this one on the road because, a rookie is playing against a good defense. So, I'm going to say that the Saints are going to split with Carolina. So, I'm going to say Carolina wins the first matchup because they're at home. And I feel like Bryce Young, he's going to, make some magic happen there. And it's weird to say I think Carolina's coaching is much better than your coaching. So, yeah. That's pretty much why I think Carolina wins. Next game, week 3, they have to play against the Green Bay Packers. Obviously, another game that can go either way. Now, I feel like this is a swing game, which I think that's a game where I think the Saints can definitely steal because they have the quarterback advantage in this game. But I feel like you guys can match up well with Packers really good because the Packers, they kind of really – I just kind of really feel like that, the Saints defense can definitely give Jordan Love issues. But at the same time, the game's in Green Bay. I'm going with the Packers here because I just think the Packers, are just – I just kind of feel like that Green Bay is just – I just kind of feel like that Lambeau is a hard place to play at. I mean, their defense is pretty strong. I think they're going to find a way to stop the run and probably give your offense issues. And then their secondary is pretty much solid. So I think they'll do a good job, slowing down Chris Olave and Michael Thomas. So, yeah. But I just kind of really feel like I just kind of feel like that Green Bay's defense, can do a good job, slowing down the run. And they have a pretty good offensive line that can really, control your pass rush. So, yeah. So, I think, even though I think the Saints I think both these teams are similar, and the Green Bay has better coaching, and the Saints have a better quarterback. That's how I see it. But so the reason why I'm just picking Green Bay to win because they're at home and they can match up well with this, and they're a good matchup for you guys. So that's pretty much why. The next game, week 4, I play against the Bucks. Obviously, I believe they beat the Bucks at home because I feel like the Saints pretty much they just kind of own Tampa Bay, and we don't know who the Bucks quarterback's going to be. Whether it's going to be Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask. Even if it's one of them, I don't think it really matters. But I wouldn't trust a young quarterback on the road, especially against a good defense like the Saints. And Baker Mayfield, he's a little bit inconsistent. And the Saints got the better quarterback, and they're at home. And I just think they're a more complete team. I mean, that's pretty much why I think New Orleans win. The next game, they got to play against the Patriots. Obviously, I think New England is gonna get this win here because I believe they kind of want revenge from you guys from 2 years ago where you guys really beat them on the road, especially with Jameis Winston. But now it's with Derek Carr, and the thing is that Derek Carr has not had some success against this Bill Belichick scheme. I just kind of feel like, the Patriots defense matches up well with you guys. I kind of feel like that their pass rush, it can find a way to get out their car and take advantage of your old line. And they can they're really good at stopping the run as well. So I think they'll find a way to slow down your running game. And then their secondary is pretty much strong. So I think they'll find a way to slow down the Saints receivers. And also, they have a pretty good old line, too, that offensive line, which I think they'll find a way to control your pass rush. And I think Mac Jones is probably going to have success here in this game. So, yeah. And also, the Patriots are at home, and they have the better coach. So, yeah. That's pretty much why the New England win. But I think it's going to be closer, and I think it's going to be more like a low-scoring game. So, yeah, I think New Orleans find a way to pull this one off. The next game, they got to play against the Texans. Obviously, they should beat the Texans because the Texans, I still think they're kind of be one of the worst teams in the league despite having C.J. Stroud. Especially, I wouldn't trust a rookie playing against that good of a defense like the Saints. I think that, the Texans, their defense is not good at stopping the run. So you guys got a better defense than them. So I think they can find a way to dictate the pace there. So, yeah. And it's also, the Saints are just a more complete team, had the better quarterback, So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much why I think New Orleans can win this game. But I think this game can definitely be closer, but I think New Orleans find a way to pull it off. Because I understand that Dan's out. The Saints aren't good against mobile quarterbacks, but I just kind of feel like the Saints are going to win this one because I think they're going to find a way to confuse C.J. Stroud. All right, next game, week 7, they have to play against the Saints. Now, this is on a short week. Now, this is a game that can go either way. Now, some people are kind of picking Jacksonville because they're a better team and have better coaching and have a better quarterback. I think this game right here could definitely go either way. Now, Jacksonville is pretty much underrated. They got some weapons on offense that can give your defense problems. And their defense is pretty much underrated, which I think they can definitely give the Saints offense a tough time. But at the end of the day, since the Saints are at home and it's on Thursday and it's on a short week, I am going to go with the Saints here because I just think, the Saints, I don't think Jacksonville matches up well in New Orleans. I feel like that New Orleans defense is just going to find a way to stop the run, get after Trevor Lawrence. And then I think they're going to do a good job, stopping their passing game to slow down Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, and Evan Ingram and all that. So, yeah. And I just kind of feel like the Jags defense, it's pretty young. So I think Derek Carr, he should be able to at least find a way to throw the ball in the air, especially against the Jags defense. So yeah, I think this game will be a lot closer, but I think the Saints find a way to win this game. Next game, week 8 versus the Colts. This is another game that can go either way because here's the thing. Some people might pick Indy to win because we know that the Saints always struggle against mobile quarterbacks, and we know that they have not had success against this Shane Steichen's team. But I think that's a game where I think Indy can win, but I don't think Indy's going to be a good team this year. So I am going to go with the Saints to win this game here because I just think, the Saints are the more complete team and have the better quarterback. And I just kind of really feel like that, that the defense is going to do a good job stopping the run. And I think they're going to confuse Anthony Richardson because Richardson is raw. Like, I wouldn't trust a rookie against that good of a defense. So I feel like that their secondary is going to find a way to at least like stop their passing game and all that. So yeah, especially the Colts defense, it's okay, but I feel like it's a little bit overrated. So I think New Orleans can do a good job, moving the ball against them. So yeah. So I think it will be a little bit close, but that's pretty much why I think New Orleans can win this game. But I think it will be a little bit closer, but I think New Orleans find a way to pull it off. Next game, they have to play against the Bears. Now, this is another mobile quarterback they're going to play against, Justin Fields. Obviously, I could definitely take the Bears, but I'm going with the Saints here because the Saints are just an overall better team, better quarterback, and they're at home. I mean, Justin Fields, he's a little bit inconsistent, especially as a passer. He's good as a runner. He's a good athlete and all that. So, yeah, their offensive line is pretty much new. The defense is not really good. So I think New Orleans should have success moving the ball against them, and they should run the ball on them as well in this game. And I feel like Derek Carr can do a good job, he's going to do a good job, make some big throws, and he'll do enough to throw the ball in the air against the Bears secondary, which is not really good. But so I think Chris Olave and Michael Thomas could be tough to cover. And I feel like Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams is going to run all over that defense. So yeah. And also, you guys got the better defense, so I think your defense can do a good job, getting after Justin Fields, causing mistakes and turnovers, something like that. So, yeah. So, that's pretty much why I think the Saints will win, but I think it will be close. But if the Saints can get up early, they might blow the Bears out. So, that's how I see it. The next game, they have to play against the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, I got Minnesota win. This game was in New Orleans. I could definitely pick the Saints, but I'm going to go with the Vikings here because even though I think the Saints are a better team, I'm just going to pick Minnesota to win this game because Minnesota is kind of a tough place to play at because their stadium is underrated and all that. So, yeah. And I just kind of feel like that even though I think you guys got the better defense, though, which I think your defense can definitely get the Vikings offensive issues. But I kind of feel like the Vikings defense, even though I don't believe in the Vikings defense, don't think that it's pretty good, I feel like Brian Flores can do enough to confuse Derek Carr, and I just kind of feel like their defense can do enough to crowd the box. So, yeah, I think they're going to control – I feel like their offense is going to control the game. So, yeah, I feel like it will be closer than – that's why I think Minnesota wins, but I think it could be closer than last time. All right, then they get the bye week 11. Then after the bye week, they have to play on the road against Atlanta. I think they'll split with Atlanta. So, obviously, I am going to say that – so, obviously, I'm going to say they lose the first game against the Falcons because the game's in Atlanta. And Atlanta has given the Saints some issues lately because, I feel like they kind of really want revenge from you guys last year because you guys swept them. And I feel like Atlanta's going to find a way to pull this one off. And I feel like they did improve their defense, to win this game. And they can give the Saints some issues as well. And their offense some issues and their defense issues as well. And especially Drake London and Kyle Pitts could definitely cut the cover. That's pretty much why. And then week 18, they play again. They play them again in week 18. I think they split the season series with a win here for the Saints because the Saints are at home and, they're going to be extra motivated because they lost to them in week 12, and I feel like they're going to be extra motivated because I just don't think they're going to get swept by Atlanta in one season. I can definitely see them sweeping Atlanta, though. Which, don't get me wrong, I can see it happening. So, yeah, I think the Saints find a way. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I think they split with each other. Now, next game, week 13, they have to play against the Lions. This is another game that can go either way. Now, this is a game where I think New Orleans can definitely win because I think their defense can find a way to, slow down the Lions' offense and give the Lions' offense some fits. But I feel like it's going to be a lot closer. But I'm going to go with the Lions here because I just think the Lions are the more complete team. They have the better coach. And I just kind of feel like, that the Lions defense is going to give the Saints offense some issues. I think they'll do a good job stopping the run. And I think their secondary can find a way to at least stop the pass and cover the Saints receivers. And I feel like Jared Goff, he's been playing well. Jared Goff has played really well in the Superdome. I feel like he's going to make some magic happen, and he's used to it. So, yeah, I think the Lions offense, I feel like their offense is going to control the game, control the clock, and control the ball and all that. I think they'll do enough offensively to do that. They have a strong offensive line, which I think they can really control your pass rush, which that can put your defense in a bad position. So, yeah, that's why I think the Lions win this game. Then the next game, they have to play against the Carolina Panthers. I think they're going to split the Panthers here because they're going to be extra motivated to play them because in the season, you lost to them early in the season. But I feel like in this game, I think you guys are going to win because you're at home. And also, you kind of really – the Saints kind of really want revenge from last year because they swept you guys last year, which I don't think is going to happen again in one season. And you particularly kind of own them. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I think New Orleans wins the game. The next game, they have to play against the Giants. Another game that can go either way. But I want to go with the Giants here because I think the Giants coaching is better and all that. But I feel like this game can be close. But if the game is in New York, I can go with the Giants. But since the game's in New Orleans, I'm going with the Saints here because I just think the Saints, can do enough defensively to stop the run and give the Giants offense some issues, and they can get after Daniel Jones. Their secondary can find a way to stop the pass. Because I kind of feel like the Giants receivers are a little bit overrated. So I feel like that the Saints defense need to find a way to shut down Waller because if they don't find a way to do that, then Waller's going to tear them apart. So, yeah. And also, the only way the Saints are going to have to win this game because we know that Martinell's good at blitzing. So if they find a way to win this game, if the only way the Saints want to win, they got to get the ball out of Derek Carr's hands quickly so he can make some throws quickly in order for them to move the ball. So, yeah. So that's why I'm got New Orleans. Next game, week 16, they got to play against the Rams on a short week on Thursday night. I actually got the Rams upsetting the Saints because I just kind of feel like that Derek Carr is going to get some type of karma in this game. And I think he's going to be rattling this game. And we know that Sean McVay is really good at home on Thursday Night Football. And he's going to have a good game plan. And I feel like as long as Matthew Stafford's healthy, he can do enough to make some big-time throws. And he can lead the Rams to a win. Even though I don't think their defense is going to be good as last year and their offense is going to be good as last year, I feel like the offense will secure the line of scrimmage, and I think the defense is going to crowd the box. But I think that's a game where New Orleans can win, but I just kind of feel like the Rams are going to win because they're at home, and they have a better coach, and they have a better quarterback. And the Saints I feel like they're a better team than them, but I just kind of feel like the Rams, are going to I feel like Matthew Stafford is going to give you guys a challenge. So that's pretty much why. Then week 17, they play the Bucs. Obviously, I think they can split with the Bucs this year, but I feel like that's a game they could definitely lose because the Bucs have definitely given the Saints issues since Tom Brady was a quarterback. But you know what? Since Tom Brady's not the quarterback, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they sweep the Bucs because I just kind of really feel like that you guys particularly own them and you've been giving the Bucs issues, and I don't think Tampa Bay matches up well with New Orleans really good. I just think the Saints are just an overall better team, are at home, better quarterback. I mean, there's an overall better team, had the better coaching staff, and had the better quarterback. So that being said, that's why I feel like the Saints are going to sweep the Bucs. So overall, I have the Saints going 10-7. I can see them being as good 11-6, 12-5 if everything goes right. But I think the Saints can probably land somewhere from 8 to 10 wins this year. I'm probably going with 10 because I think their schedule is a little bit easier. Because when you look at their teams, their schedules got to play, it could be a little bit easier or medium or tough because they have to play the Titans, the Packers, the Panthers twice, the Bucs twice, the Patriots, the Jags, They play the Vikings, the Falcons twice, the Lions, and typically the Giants. So this is kind of like not really an easy schedule though, because you can tell that 4-2 in Division 6 in the conference, 7-1 at home, and 3-6 away. It's pretty good, which I can definitely see you dropping one game. But I just kind of feel like the Saints, as long as they stay healthy, I think they'll have a chance to win 11 games this year. And then, and maybe as long as the Saints stay healthy and then Derek Carr, starts to get back to where he was, then I think they have a chance to at least get them in the 11 to 12 win range mark. But I think their floor is probably going to be 7 wins. Probably 6 to 7 wins this year. If Derek Carr, starts to decline again like last year, then the defense, is not good and the offense is not good and everybody's not healthy. But I just kind of feel like that I could definitely see regression from the defense because some of their players are getting older, like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu. So they're getting up there in age. And I feel like the offensive line is definitely the question, though. I just kind of feel like their offensive line is a little bit overrated, but I feel like it's still okay. The receiving core is okay. I mean, as long as Michael Thomas is healthy, I think the Saints can find a way to win shootouts in all the games. And then, I feel like that the running game is good. I like the addition of Jamal Williams. So yeah. So that's how I feel for the Saints. 10-7 is my record for the Saints, and I have them winning division, but I could be wrong. So yeah. So let me know in the comments below how you feel about the Saints. So this is Emmanuel Jones, a big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later in the next video. Peace.